Episode 9 is said to end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people, including myself, am really looking forward to seeing in this movie is exactly how J.J. Abrams will utilize all of the different revelations coming our way that will change the Skywalker saga as we know it. And whether or not that's going to be a good or a bad thing, we'll have to decide for that on ourselves when we go ahead and see this movie come December of this year. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, and of course Mark Hamill. Now, it's described that one of the sequences that were shot involved Mark Hamill, Daisy Ridley, and Adam Driver, in which they were all placed inside of a large ancient Jedi structure. It's described that this is a sequence in which Luke will give a very important lecture on the netherworld of the Force. It's described to be a moment in the film that will change Star Wars history forever and have saga-wide implications. Another sequences that was filmed involved Hamill, Ridley, and Driver inside of a large glass sphere, set piece that is said to be added in with heavy visual effects. It's said to be a scene that will show fans the netherworld of the Force and will also provide glimpses of the ancient Jedi and Sith. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that this movie is going to have a lot of saga-wide implications by the different revelations coming our way. Now, this particular sequence that I find very interesting about is how it's going to explore the netherworld of the Force. Now, we heard about this lightly, I would say, about a month ago or so, about Mark Hamill, Daisy Ridley, and Adam Driver having a scene together in which they will be exploring different aspects of the Force and will be learning more about the Force through the Force ghost of Luke Skywalker himself. Now, I want to go over the set pieces. Now, there's two of which that I find very intriguing. One of which is actually described to be an ancient Jedi structure, and the other of which is actually described to be a sphere, which is going to be filled in with heavy visual effects. Now, this sphere that both, Adam, Daisy, and Mark were actually standing inside of, it makes one wonder exactly what this thing is. Is it a part of the Jedi Temple itself, or is it something else entirely different than we are already thinking about right now? Now, the other aspect that I find very intriguing is how this whole entire session of Luke Skywalker exploring the netherworld of the Force and showing it to both Kylo Ren and Rey is actually going to provide some glimpses of the history of the Jedi and the Sith, making us understand, the Jedi and the Sith in a totally different way than ever before. Now, like I say, when we look at Disney and Lucasfilm, JJ and crew, we do know that this movie has a lot going for it. They are really, going through a lot of risks with this movie by using these revelations in order to have saga-wide implications that will change the Skywalker saga forever. So, the one thing that I do like about this movie is how it's going to tap into elements of the Force, the Jedi, and the Sith that's going to actually change our view on all past, Star Wars films, all based within the Skywalker saga. So I think that what they're trying to do is that they're trying to give us a different version of a Force ghost of Luke Skywalker. A type of Force ghost that is able to essentially bring in the mortals into the netherworld of the Force, showing us exactly what it looks like, the audience. Because whenever we see a Force ghost, appear or vanish, it always makes one wonder, right? Exactly where are they? What does it look like, wherever they are going? What's the environment like? And that's exactly what we are actually going to see in Episode 9. Now, it's said to include heavy visual effects. It's going to take months upon months to complete this sequence in order to get it down correctly. Now, we do know that Mark Hamill shot numerous scenes, not only by himself, but also with Kerry Russell, Adam Driver, and Daisy Ridley in this movie, as well as some flashback sequences in the mix. So the other approach of this movie is to get a lot of the young audience members in tune with the legacy characters. So a lot of new fans coming into the Star Wars franchise are really going to learn more about the characters of Luke, Leia, Lando, Han, you name it. So that's one thing that Episode 9 has going for it as well. Now, let me know what you guys think about all of this. What do you think about the netherworld of the Force being explored in Episode 9? Is this a good or a bad idea for the Star Wars franchise? Should the netherworld of the Force stay completely mysterious, or at the very least, be explored in the form of a comic book or a graphic novel. You know, for me, I think it is a bit of a risk exploring this on the big screen in the form of live action, because it all depends on how it's going to be executed, how it's all going to be done, and exactly how it's going to resonate with fans around the world. So with that being said, when we look at the characters of Luke, Kylo Ren, and Rey, you know, it has to be a special moment. There needs to be substance there, a lot of meaning and purpose, in order for this scene to actually work and really hit fans' hearts. So let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear them moans again.